Joining me now is Utah Congressman Burgess Owens. Congressman, thanks very much for being here this morning. It's good to see you. Your reaction to what we're hearing from your colleague in the House?
Well, Maria, one thing we can say about bigotry, it's always loud, it's always passionate, and it's always deeply, deeply wrong. This is what our country's always been fighting against. The culture of our nation has been one thing, very, very simple. We can identify evil. It's just from the very beginning. We look at whether it be evil within our country or outside. We see it, and we try to change things around and make it right. What's happening right now across our country and around the world is what's been happening for quite a while. It's what's going on in the classrooms of our colleges. They're trying to put it into our K through 12. That is hating other people based on their religion, their race, whatever it is that Marxists do. They'd like to divide us. They'd like to make us point fingers at each other, and that's not the American way. So yeah. If there's an upside, is begin to realize that this is wrong, and we're going to start standing up and really pointing out the bigotry that we're seeing across our country.
So what is the censor doing to her? I mean, what does that mean exactly?
It's just a resolution. It's actually just saying that it goes down in history as a Congress that's looked at what she's doing, as with Adam Schiff. It's what they've done to highlight the fact that they're off base, that they don't stand for the values of our conference, okay. So that's what we're doing. It's nothing other than just making a point that this is what we're standing up against.
Well, I mean, look, something should be done. We're looking at anti-Semitism spike across America, and we're watching these pro-Palestinian protests completely ignore the fact that Hamas had this unprovoked attack on Israel and now is currently holding 240 hostages. No mention of that with all of these pro-Palestinian protests, and yet what does the White House do? I mean, leadership starts at the top, right? The White House comes out and they come up with a plan to push back on Islamophobia. So what are they doing about anti-Semitism, as if Islamophobia is the issue?
Well, here's what it comes down to: is we the people have to really be the dictate where this heads off to. We have to make sure we're pointing to the leadership that's been anti-Israel. That's what the Biden administration, actually the Democratic Party, has always been in this particular area. They stand. They're not standing for our friends. They're standing for anti-American ideologies. Yeah. We're seeing within our colleges, so that's where we're really working hard to make changes there. This is something that has been happening for quite a while now, and now that we see it, it's time for us to do something about it. In our college systems, curriculum, holding colleges accountable, pulling back funds if we have to, as if they're not standing up for our values. And of course, American people need to go to the polls and make their voices known that this is not the way we address these kind of issues at all.
I mean, the White House's response to all of this is actually sending people toward President Trump. And the New York Times said it the other day in black and white. President Trump is leading in 5 of the 6 swing states, and then you've got this. President Biden's support among black voters is going lower. The Times writing black voters are disconnected with the Democrat Party, and they're frustrated and unhappy with Biden. A new poll finds 22% of black voters in 6 key battleground states say that they would support former President Trump over President Biden. Ben Carson told me the same thing the other day. How do you see it when you speak with people in the community, Congressman, in terms of the African-American support for Trump?
We're all coming home. The blacks, Hispanics, the Jewish people will see the same thing. Coming home strictly means our belief in our faith, family, free market education, and recognize the Democratic Party has always been the party that uses misery as a political strategy. That's who they are. And now we're seeing it's not hypothetical anymore. So the upside, if there is one, is that American people recognizing the Democratic Party has within it very anti-American sentiments, ideologies, and they've been at it for quite a while. They're cowards, those who hide within our system, behind tenure, behind college salaries, and they attack our young people, and they come out hating our country. So we're standing up against that. We have to recognize now's our time to really make a difference. The Republican Party and conservatives across our country, and independents and Democrats, now's our time. We have to show up. We have to really look at what our country stands for and vote so that we can hold on to the values that we hold dear. We have to make that done now.
So what's happening on Election Day? Yesterday.
Well, it's just disappointing to see that we have not figured it out yet, and it really is across the country. We have another year. The thing that we're also looking at, the Democrats have another year to show how much they hate our American way, the policies that hurt our country. And as people can continue to feel the pain of these policies, that's when we can start to really rev up and come out and make the vote that counts to get our country back on track.
Here's Todd Pyro. Go ahead, Todd.
Congressman, great to chat with you. Is there something to the notion of African Americans looking at what's happening to Trump and saying, we have been the victims of wrongful persecution in the court system for years? They look at what's happening in Donald Trump and say, hey, if it's happening to him, it could happen to us again, and that makes them side with Donald Trump. Do you have any sense as to whether that notion is accurate?
It is absolutely spot on. We recognized in the 90s when the attack on crime, the Democrats really put a lot of black men away, destroyed many black families, and it's finally showing up. So now, what Trump represents is a strong advocate for American ways, somebody who's ready to fight, and that's what American people are ready for now. We're tired of the soft talk, the political talk. We want to get back to focusing on our dreams, make sure our families are growing, make sure our business is growing, all those things that really make our country grow. And so we're going to, as a Republican Party, make that happen, and Donald Trump will be the president that gets us back on track and fighting for the American way for sure.
All right, Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. We appreciate your insights on all of that. Congressman Burgess Owens joining us. Thank you, sir.